Shalom. First of all, most like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Kakadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely, and shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And I say shalom to the Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson that I want to bring out of Revelations 18:3. It reads, "For all the nations have drunken of the wine of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundancy of her delicacy." Right, so we seen the influence that Babylon has towards these other nations from ancient times now into modern day times. Because in modern day times, it's in a different way, especially of them pushing this westernization, the economics of westernization, and different aspects of the other nations have been influenced of the overall Western standard of Babylon that had influenced these other nations. So the nations have drunken of the wine of her fornication, that leads into evilness and wickedness and unrighteousness, So the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. The kings of the earth with these other nations, have the highly influence of Babylon for many years and many generations. So now they are turning away from it and they're not hip to it no more. So we see, the influence of Babylon is declining, The influence of Babylon is declining from these other nations because they are not hip to that no more because they already have experienced the wrath of fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. They had waxed rich through her abundance and through delicacies as well too. So we're seeing more and more signs that, Babylon is on the decline as the nations are hip to the fact that, of Babylon, but pushing that westernization that leads into, a category of not following along that path, They following their own path because they have drunken of the wine. They have drunken of the wine of Babylon, of their confusion. And they are not hip to that Babylonian westernization confusion no more. They are not hip to that because they have drunken the wine of her fornication. And they had committed all these things that was part of Babylon that leads into evilness and wickedness and unrighteous decrees, So the nations are not hip to that no more. They are not hip to that westernization or their economics no more. So that's why the nations are turning away from the American dollar, and they're dropping and turning away and ditching the ways of westernization from Babylon, have influence on these other nations, even though some of these nations are still influenced with Babylon. But we starting to see the majority of the other nations are turning away from the influence of the modern day version dollar of Babylon, and they are not hip to their ways no more, So with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying of Revelations 18:3. So with that, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Kakadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely, and shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And until next time, I will say shalom.